Well, howdy, guys. Aren't we back? Boy, I'm so excited to play Major Minor. But the story's heating up, so let's hope something good happens. Oh, I need to close my door when my cat's on. Ooh, what do I do? So, can you, like, extend a arm? Like that, whoosh. Alright. Ah, I. Let's start 2.5 hours of this. Well then, things are becoming more complicated. Many men aspire to usurp. This time, they're getting closer than I expected. It's almost like a game to them. Was trivial in the face of our goals. I don't remember the voice for the Rayo. It's fun to watch, though. It seems that Wright suspects you. Both theories are incredibly wrong. Indeed. A fault for being secret. People think that I have, or that I bear some sort of ill intent. Perhaps I should have been open about this. It would have been more noble. Noble, yeah, but not fun. I like the idea of keeping a secret. Mayo, my goal here is to have fun. I seek a very important change. The mind of the bargain still stands? Yes, Earth is yours to play with. I have no need for it, while Inkle is present on Terra. Well, about that. I'll be sending Inkle back to Earth, at least for the time being. No, don't send me back to Earth. They have to keep up appearances. I can't just rob them from their home. We have to juggle here, Velasquez. They have two lives to live now. But don't worry, I'll bring him back. I just have a plan of my own to enact. Oh no, he was more pretty. Plan of your Indeed. Life on Tokyo is going to change. Things were just too boring. I decided to shake it up a little. I can't remember. Nice. You'll find out what I mean soon enough. Things will get hotter for Inkle, but it will help them realize their role. Being the savior isn't all fun and games. The great danger will soon befall Tokyo. It will claim the lives of many. Hi, Wolf. Oh, that was the end of chapter 3. If I had just sat here for 10 more minutes. Where am I? What's going on? I remember getting choked unconscious by Riley. But then I'm still conscious. I feel awake and disconnected. It's like my spirit left my body or something. Still fully aware of my surroundings, or at least the lack thereof. Even so, I feel disconnected from my body. Is this death? I feel a large rush of speed, much like the first time I was sent to Terra. This time, I'm able to bear the pain more easily. And as it subsides, I hit solid ground with a thud. First, sense of touch return. I'm face down on some sort of carpet. Wait, the hotel room carpet. Back on Earth? My sense of sight returns. This fact is confirmed. My instincts want me to rise to my feet, but as it stands, that's currently impossible. I try to move my hands, but they're frozen stiff. And I mean that in a literal sense. I'm so cold. How long was I lying here? Did the hotel not have any heating? After strenuous effort, I am able to move one finger, and then soon after I can move another, then another. I focus on this until I can move all my digits. When this is through, I have control of my hands. I use them to push myself up, and then soon after I can move my feet as well. I bring myself up to a standing position. That was odd. Almost like I had a defrost. I get in the room and notice Keela is lying on the floor. We're in the same spot as we were before, like we haven't moved since the news report came up. The sun enters the room through a nearby window. It's not night anymore. The day is broken. I rush over to his body and kneel beside him. I give him a gentle shake. I give him gentle shakes while I call out his name. He's frozen stiff, just like I was before. Cold to the touch, like a lifeless corpse. I start to panic and shake him even more, my voice becoming more desperate as I call out to him. After a few straight minutes of this, he starts to move. He follows the same procedure as myself. First the fingers, then the hand, and so on. Moments pass, and he stands up in confusion. Huh? What happened? Did I just... He rubs his eyes like he's waking up after a long sleep. He lets out a yawn, a stretch, utterly confused, taking close. My body's so stiff. Mine is as well, but I brush that fact aside. There are more important matters at hand. Ask Kilo what he remembers about last night. Clates. I must have passed out in shock. I think it's all a blur. Please tell me that isn't true. If he died, then what happens to us? I don't want to go home, Inkle. I must have been dreaming. Please tell me I was dreaming. He grips my shoulders and shakes me a few times. It's like he's demanding something he knows isn't real. But I can't let him live in some sort of fantasy world. He has to know the truth of what happened. And so I let him know that it was true. Blaze passed away last night. He was murdered. No. I want him to come back. We have to bring him back. I'm not sure how to respond to him. It's very clear that he's in denial. He starts to pace around the room, talking to himself. Soon enough, it seems like he's forgotten that I'm here. But that's not the only thing he's forgotten. I realize that Clace's death is all he remembers. He hasn't mentioned Tara, like it never happened. Why would he forget? I remembered. Does it have to do with me being the savior? If so, then why was he even brought at all? It's even very confusing. I skipped the arc this time. I have no idea why, and I'm filled with questions. I thought I was needed in Terra to save it. Can't believe it, but I want to see that man again. That man being Bayo. How could I go about rescuing Kaylin if I'm on Earth? Something about this just doesn't add up. Especially if Kilo was right about the time difference. I'd have to get back there as soon as possible. There's no telling what could happen in my own hands. I could have sworn they said it was impossible to leave. The Terra was a one-way street, and I'd be stuck. Before I can go too deep into thought, my phone rings. I pick it up instinctively, reach the other end. The ringing seems to shoot Kilo back into reality. I know he zones out, but that was something else. Hey there, Inkle. Hi, Audie. Ignore the furries. This isn't normal. Day is on her way to pick you up. Said she'll be there in 5 minutes. Don't turn on the TV, alright? Yeah. I'll be streaming quite a lot this next year. I'm not sure if you heard the news or not, but the media is making a lot of stuff up. Better wait and talk to Singe in person. He's making a public statement soon, too. Probably best if you wait until then. Either way, I have to go. See you soon. He abruptly hangs up the phone. I could hear lots of voices in the background. Things must be getting hectic for those close to Clace. I wonder if things would get hectic for us as well. Things were starting to get complicated and unclear. I've been peeking sometimes, but this is going to surpass everything. Dude, Audie, you have no idea how bad this game is. This fucking game sucks. I started to wonder what fate awaited Keela and myself, but I have to play it. It's the first game I ever bought. Hey, who was that? Before I can answer him, my phone rings again. I pull it out of my pocket. This time it's a text. The contents of it sends shivers down my spine. What? Who could this be? Why are they saying this? It has to be some kind of prank. Well, so okay, so this game is from 2015. This was written. This is basically just a furry's fan fiction that he wrote and made into a poor game. All of the backgrounds are real life images that they have blurred, and yeah, none of this is AI. It's all like hand drawn or like blur backgrounds. I let Kilo know that it was just Rook. He said that Jade will be picking us up shortly. It does suck. If I wish that the background was more visually appealing. Actually, we should already be downstairs. All right. See you down there then. He runs off as fast as he can. I can tell that he's in the night. He clearly doesn't want to talk about this, but after that's happened, I can't blame him. Before leaving, I close all of the blinds. I guess that text message got the better of me. Even if it was a joke, it would leave anyone scared. I leave the room with paranoia eating away at me. I make my way down to the lobby. As soon as I get there, I see Keela exiting the hotel. He seems to be in a hurry, scurrying away. He can run, but of course, can't run forever. I start to follow, but quickly bump into someone. For the 14th time. I take a step back and apologize to the woman, but then I realize I've seen them before. Under the exact same circumstances as well. You? Oh, my apologies. That was rude. I was just surprised to see you here. Look, you must be smaller than we think. So, you staying here too? I nod, remembering that Rook said it was expensive. If she could afford it, who is this woman? You can call me Max. It's short for Maxine, but don't say that. Sounds strange in this day and age. Met Maxine, the mysterious vixen. I'm here for business, and let's just say my company is cheap. Only the best when it comes to travel. The way she says this implies that she owns a company. That's definitely impressive, as she seems very young. I see that you were on your way out. I'll let you go on with your busy day. I didn't mean to hold you up or anything. Perhaps if I see you again, we'll talk. It would be nice to get more acquainted. Not just anybody can stay in this hotel. I'm sure you have a story to tell, and I have all the time in the world. She walks away from me with a smile. As she does so, she plays with the gear on her necklace. I feel like I've seen that before. It stands out to me. I change my course back to the exit. Before I can get there, my phone rings again. It's a text message, as the tone doesn't repeat. I'm extremely hesitant, given what happened before, but unlike Keela, it wasn't in my nature to avoid things. This time, the universe will not sway in your favor, but mine. This doesn't make any sense. I can't believe it. It seems to be written with the knowledge of my power, but I've never told anyone about the situation. Someone on Earth know what's going on with me? Also, I read these lines so wrong because they just don't make sense grammatically to say. I hate it. I can no longer hope that this is a joke. There's more at play here than I know. Someone, somewhere, isn't being honest. I'm pretty sure that those text messages are just the character we just met. I exit the hotel. I meet up with Keela and we enter the limo together. Because there's already like 70 characters. There's no way they could just keep adding more. I do all of this knowing that I'm being watched. And that is much harder than it sounds. Oh boy, another new character. I can't wait to meet them. As soon as we enter, we take our seats. The first thing I notice is that we are not alone. Rather than in the front, Inumi sits in the back. But he's not alone. He's sitting with someone new. Since I've never met them, I introduce myself. Oh, I know who you are. Oh. I contemplate whether or not to offer him my hand, but at first glance he doesn't seem like the type. As I've learned, Bai is into shaking hands. We're the lucky two. That requires a lot of dedication, you know. But that is a trait I admire. He gives a wide smile to Keela and myself. He offers me his hand. I guess I was wrong. I accept, and he leaves it with a firm grip. It's like that line was pointless. Keela, however, does not, and remains seated. I let this man know that Keela is in shock, especially after the events that happened last night. I understand. It must not be easy. By the way, you can call me Acheron. I was hired to ensure your safety. I'm told that you will learn more shortly. I'll refrain from giving anything away. Leaking information would be irresponsible. He reclines back in his chair with a relieving sigh. So we have someone to protect us now. That's awesome. Suddenly I'm not as worried about those text messages. He looks equipped enough to take on any trouble. But I still feel sorry for Keela. He's acting odd. I'm sure that given time, he'd come around. At this point, Jade starts the limo up and drives away. I'm not sure how long it will be until we arrive. But I need to sort this all out in my head. It's crazy. Is Inumi not going to say anything? So, from what I could tell, I'm now being watched, but this person seems to know about my power as well. That perplexes me, because I thought it was a secret. In fact, I've never told a single soul about the Ark. Yeah, you've known about it for a day, man. Come on, what are we saying? Less than a day. Maybe I wasn't the only one who's been to the Ark. There's more to this, and I just needed to know. Hopefully, I would learn more as the day progressed. And with Acheron to protect us, I'd be safe. I take a deep breath and close my eyes. At this point, Inumi breaks the silence. Oh, good. Hey, I have a question for Inkle. What's 75 Sorry, hang on. Let me get in the... Hey, I have a question, Inkle. What's 75 multiplied by 110? A woman asked me earlier. I didn't know. Whoa, I was not in the state. I was not in a state good for mental math. And no matter what, that was just an odd thing to ask. Maybe he found the silence in the limo a little awkward. It's 8250, Inumi. Really? Yeah, absolutely. That's so cool! You're smart. My big brother used to help me with this, but he was just so busy all the time. That's quite nice of your brother. I'd like to meet him, Minu. It was close. I'm sorry. My apologies. Oh, I have an idea. Huh? You could take over and teach me math. The teacher always said it was important. It could save your life, they told me. I suppose that's true. We'll have to see what happens. There's a lot on the table now. I'm not looking forward to Sinja's speech. The silence will be broken by an official. He's the most qualified to speak about this. Sinja's really smart. He knows what to say to make people happy. Maybe he can make me happy again. Don't say that. Yeah, it's never easy losing a loved one. But I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. Not while you're by my side, Inumi. The sexual tension in this limbo is palpable. He reaches over and rubs the top of Inumi's head. His hair gets messed up, but he enjoys it. A wide smile appears in his previously sad face. I'm glad they told us he was sad because there's no emotion on these characters. Okay, okay. Now that makes me happy. I was scared for all of our safety. I was worried we'd be next or something. Not on my watch, okay? Everybody will be fine. He smiles again, like everything is completely fine. Acheron was really nice through his cold exterior. I feel bad for judging him at first glance earlier. And Inumi seemed like he'd be fun to hang around with. Before we could continue talking, the limo stops. That wasn't as long of a ride as I expected. Inumi gets up to leave, but Acheron quickly interjects. Not now, Inumi. Please let me go first. It would be rude to expose you to danger. I'll make sure the coast is clear, okay? Wow. What a gentleman. He's definitely good at what he does. As he said, he leaves the limo first. A few moments pass, and he waves us all out. I'm glad that the coast is clear, danger-free. It's time to get some answers, and meet Singe. Inumi scoots out first, and after that, I follow behind. Keelah seems like he's still lost in his own little world, but eventually he follows, as expressionless as a ghost. Outside, we're greeted to the side of our home base. I guess this is where we'd spend most of our time. It looks beautiful with a complex modern design. I'll save my game. I think that's fourth. But as soon as we take some steps, the media is upon us. They're countless in their numbers. It appears as if they're trying to block our entry. So this isn't even a real picture they're using as the background. It's like a picture from an anime that they have blurred. It's the Lucky Two! Hey, this news reporter from last night. He's the one who wanted the death of Clace, who reported the death of Clace. Contest winners, we need to talk. There's some allegations going around. They say this is just for publicity. Inkle, do not engage the press. They will try to scare you into talking. But legally, they can't get in our way. Just keep walking and they'll move. That is, if they want to keep their careers. He glares at Fukumoto as he says those last few words. Perhaps I'll ask again later. Scuttle, scuttle, scuttle. He slowly backs away and blends into the crowd. Acheron must have intimidated him into submission. But it was for the best, and I'm thankful. I wouldn't have known what to do on my own. Follow me, and do not engage. This will tell you the truth of things. You don't want to say something stupid. I nod, as I find his counsel invaluable. We keep walking, and I make sure Keelah is in tow. Inumi is following us as well, completely unfazed. He must be used to the limelight by now. Being Clace's brother, he gets lots of attention. I look back at the limb. A large crowd blocks Jade's attempts to leave. I feel sorry for her. She's stuck with the press. Not used to all the eyes on you, eh? Not at all. As soon as he says that, it hits me, and a sense of anxiety starts to rise within me. If I was being watched, it could be anybody here. I ask him if we can walk faster, but then I get another text message. I pull out my phone with extreme attention. It will display a calm composure. I'm sure I could play it off as fear of the crowd. Acheron has no idea what's happening on my end. Worried? Aren't you? Good. Okay, now it's very clear that I'm being followed, and they're close enough to see my worry as well. I scan my surroundings, but everyone is watching me. They certainly picked the perfect time to watch. I'd never be able to tell who it was in the crowd. Hi, Scots. Oh my god, Scots. I'm so happy you're here. I'm playing a visual novel game. I'm taking a page from your book. Why do you play these games? This is almost torture. I start to panic and clinging closer to Aqua. I give him a gentle nudge, pushing him to move faster. He seems to take my signal. Thankfully, it obeys. It isn't much longer until we get inside. We're promptly greeted with the illusion of safety. It's fun. Scots, this is a 13-hour furry visual novel. I'm 6 hours in and just to chapter 4. I take a large breath as soon as we get inside. For some reason, it feels like I'm safe. It's odd how one door can make such a difference. Inui scurries away as soon as we get inside. The windows are dimmed, so it's not too bright, but this bodes well for someone in my situation. If I was being watched, they couldn't do it. Stand relieved in the back running. Oh, God, this is the first game I ever bought, by the way. Like, period, on stream. This was my first Steam purchase. Yeah, but when you have to complete a very long, bad visual novel game as the first one in your series, you know what? It's a tone setter for sure. Yeah, Scots. This was the first game I ever bought on Steam. 15-year-old me saw these furries and said, oh boy, this is going to be a good time. And he was wrong. He was certainly wrong. You did a good job out there. You were overwhelmed, but that's normal. You handled yourself admirably. Thanks. If only he knew, I was actually worried. Actually, perhaps I should tell him. He'd be the last person I want to hide this from. And he'd probably know exactly how to respond. I'll wait until I can talk to him in private. I want you two to wait right here. I'll go find out where Singe is. Do me a favor and don't wander. Looks at Inumi, who has already wandered. He looks toward what I assume is the receptionist desk. I turn to Kila and ask him if he's okay. So far, it's been impossible to get a read on him. I have a cut on my beak. I know he's prone to zoning out, but this is unreal. That's so true, Scott. He was literally just introduced. I haven't even had, like, time to get a palpable taste of him. I'm good. Just overwhelmed. I mean, what are the odds of this? Nothing has gone our way since we got here. We'll get involved with the media now. They'll probably even dig up our past. I'm not really cool with that, Inkle. Luck is definitely not on our side. He's right. This was supposed to be luxurious, or every dream was expected to become reality. Saying that this hasn't happened is an understatement. It went south in almost every way imaginable. I tell Kila that everything will be okay. Although I don't know who I'm trying to convince. There's a lot more on my plate with the fate of Thera. So I simply say we should wait until we talk to Singe. Yeah, you're right. Can you please rate the scroll guy out of 10 cuts? He turns away and starts to inspect the lobby. Rather massive. And it doesn't look familiarly foreign at all. In fact, it makes me feel at home. Very modern. It has been a while, Scots. I've been wondering to myself, I wonder when Scots is going to so I can not watch her play visual novel games. Yeah, Blue. Blue is a way it's something I would use for it. Instead, I look at the TVs attached to the wall. They're all playing a news report recorded earlier. It must be a story of interest to Tokyo citizens. As a few moments pass, I realize that's true. But it happens to be of great interest. So, how are you doing, by the way, Scots? You're not sick or anything? How's your relative? Last I heard, they had the COVIDina, or perhaps the flu. You didn't get it yourself, I hope. Hello, Fukumoto here. I've been lucky enough to snag an interview right here on the streets of Akihabara. This is very spontaneous, people. Sorry for any background noise. but I think you'll enjoy our guest. This guy seems to get around. Are there no other news reporters in Japan? She arrived in Tokyo a few weeks ago, and she's been under scrutiny ever since. Well, we're here for the real story. And we'll get it from the woman herself. Everybody, welcome Maxine Armstrong, CEO of Armstrong Incorporated. It's my pleasure to be here, Fukumoto-san. It's that woman I've run into multiple times. Twice. You've run into them twice. Didn't think she was special enough for her own report. Re-debut in between late January or early February. Sick. What are you doing until then? Are you just working again? Are you like doing arts and stuff for it? For those not in the know, Maxine came. Please, call me Max. Very well, Max. You came from the United States. Nobody knows the real reason why. This has made a lot of people uneasy, given the nature of your business, chemical and explosive weaponry, right? Some would say you deal war. That's actually incorrect, Fukumoto. Armstrong Incorporated desires protection. We sell an item that is useless on its own. Our products are a security measure. Updating layouts, let's gift to it, and overall the whole scene. Well, I'm very proud that you're putting your noggin to the drawing stone. I hope this time your iteration pleases you. Any other use is the buyer's fault. We provide a means, not anything else. We have a very thorough selection process. Clients are all given mental health exams. We ensure that the client is fit, you see. The tabloids always exaggerate things, but you're no stranger to that yourself. I want protection for everyone. Or many of our clients are government seats. The celebrities are within our realm too. If a weapon goes off, it is only to protect. Easy to make it sound like I'm bad. But the weapons I sell guarantee safety. Wait, why are you calling them weapons if they're harmless on their own? It is not my fault if they are misused. Oh, I see. Thanks for explaining. That is an admirable mission statement. Your parents will be so proud of you, Max. But can you understand the unease? Some people are scared of your presence, especially since you're keeping secrets. But now, Japan is your audience. Do you have anything to say? Something to put us at ease? Yeah. Scott's no spoilers. Maybe a little spoiler in the DM if you like Meal. But I do hope that your multiple gift to her mom really along very well. Unfortunately, I do not. My purpose here is confidential. However, no harm will come to your citizens. My presence here should put you at ease. I offer the most advanced products. I'm in my pink. No, Scott. No! You've reached the tomboy age where you're gonna snap your fingers and you're gonna turn into a hot girl. I could even stop these midnight deaths. There you have it, folks. Max is here to stop the murders. An amazing goal. Bravo, Max. That's not what I said. That's all we have time for today. But rest easy. We're all safe. Armstrong is here for a noble purpose. This is Fukumoto, signing off. Oh, that was pretty heavy. I've heard of Armstrong Incorporated before, but this was my first time hearing about its owner. I never would have thought that it was her. I'll have to talk to her about it if I see her again. She did express interest in getting to know me better. I see that Akron is on his way back. Hopefully now we'll get to meet with Singe. I was dying to hear an official statement about this. I await our next move as I walk towards my friends. Thank you, Scots. I absolutely won't have fun playing this, but I appreciate the sentiment. Hey, thanks for staying put, you two. Conference won't start for a while yet, so we can go and pass some time upstairs. Renting in this place must be expensive. Singe's pockets go pretty deep, it seems. Well, anyway, I guess we should go. Those people outside are really loud. Headache is the last thing I want. Should be more quiet upstairs. He starts walking towards the stairs. Me and Keela follow him without question. I guess it was almost instinctual. It was our protection. We'd need to stay close. And that's what we did to ascend. We ascended the stairs. We leave the frenzy of the media behind us. But unfortunately, not for good. It was quieter up here, just like Acheron had hoped. He presses his back against a wall and watches it. Then he scouts around, looking from left to right. He definitely has a good vantage point from there. Keela leaves my side as well and tries to find a seat. Eventually, he situates himself in a nice leather chair. I see a lot of familiar faces around this room. Rook is using his tablet and then facing around. But then I see some not so familiar faces, although I feel like I recognize them from TV. It's almost like everybody important to Clace was here. Maybe they were just as clueless as I was about this. Guess I wasn't the only one who wanted some answers. It isn't long before Rook looks up from his tablet. He notices me and starts to walk in my direction. I wonder how he was handling all of this. Hey, Inkle. Nice to see you made it. I'm assuming that new guy is Acheron. Too bad the last guard just ran off. Ran off? What does he mean by that? Anyway, no beating around that bush. You're here, so you must know the truth. Last night, Clace was murdered. He says it in such an emotionless way. It's hard for me to tell if this has even bothered him. Instead of crying, I tell him what I didn't know the truth. I saw Fukumoto reporting live on TV past midnight. Oh, Fukumoto. I hate that guy. Stretches the truth almost every time. You like Red? I have no idea how he got that job. Twist words like the tabloids. I'm surprised he works for a real station. That's true. I did see his ads. I let Rook know that he tried to interview me as well. He mentioned that this was all a publicity stunt. Of course he mentioned. Listen, don't take him seriously. You learn that pretty quickly in Tokyo. But the general population loves him. Honestly, I'm not able to see why. He's just a sham, a sensationalist. It was harshly worded, but had some wisdom. Singe is just getting ready. Couldn't be longer. Maybe you should get to know the crew. Everyone is still shocked, of course. Some friendship might help. Uniting is what we need to do right now. Rick turns his head and notices someone's approaching. Talks with a guitar and he steps with purpose. I guess Rocker is a fine place to start. He's definitely a knowledgeable man. Wait, a compliment from Rook? Wow, it must be my birthday. Don't flatter yourself. Hey, you're the one that said it. I have no idea what voice I gave this guy either. He bows to Rook, and is just respect. He then does the same to me, wearing a large smile. Sorry, I'm not the one for shaking hands. But with much respect, it's my pleasure. I'm Rocker. Nice to meet you. I hesitate to give him a hello and introduce myself too. Oh my. Supper, right? Equal, I don't deserve that. Go on, Rock. Alright, now. No need to make his day any worse. This is very important, though. Inkle, that was an incorrect bow. You went far too low just now. A bow like that is for an apology, or for addressing someone of status. And I mean exceptionally high status. Furthermore, your back was bent as well. You should always try to keep it straight. A crooked bow can be seen as disrespectful. Try to remember this simple fact. Most, 15-degree bow is fine. Around here, it's called a shaku. It's meant for ease. And I don't mean to rag on you, but I'd hate for you to offend someone. Well, this is my signal to leave. I don't need one of your famous lectures. I've heard way too much about Japan. Rook gives him a very crooked and low bow, as if to mock the entire lesson Rock gave. I'm surprised he didn't scare you away. If I were you, I would have run. It could be really rude without knowing. He thinks he's joking or something, but it always comes off as crass. He's not the best at social interaction. Regardless of my feelings about Rook, it's true. In fact, Rocker's lesson was refreshing. He did it to legitimately inform me about battles, not to judge or berate me, like Rook would always do. This guy I've known for a day. I thank him and try giving him the bow he explained. 15 degrees and with a straight back. You catch on fast. I like that. We'll get along just fine, Inkle. I know we have spare time before the speech. If you want to hang out, feel free. Of course, you'll be being shocked too. When he says the name Chalk, it all becomes clear. Chalk and Rocker were Clace's lead guitarists. They performed some of the most legendary solos. I'm starstruck as he walks away, almost in disbelief. I've heard lots of their music, and it was awesome. Here he was, talking to me so casually. If I knew who he was at first, I would have panicked. But both Rocker and Rook had a very good point. I had some time to waste before Sinja's speech. And there were so many interesting people up here. I'd love to get to know each and every one of them. Well, I already knew Rook and Keela good enough. But Akron was still a mystery, as was Inumi. Shocker and Rocker were quite enticing as well. Hanging out with a rockstar duo would be awesome. Fortunately, I couldn't hang out with all of them. Stay in place, contemplating my next action. Who should I hang out with? Why isn't Inumi an option? No, not the Acherons. I don't want subplots. I decided it would be best to visit Acheron. And our protector would be important. Guys. Ugh. Hey, Cleon, I need you to do me a favor, alright? There's a point redeem for 300 channel points. You just type in the name Akron with that redeem. That would be awesome. And if you do, I will allow you to munch on the rat. He's standing in the same spot as he was before. You will have to share with Sleepy, though. You don't have 300 channel points? Fake fan, Cleon, fake fan. His head's still rotating left to right as if on a motor. I hope I don't interrupt his work or anything. Seems like he's definitely in the zone. Hey there. Holding on. He catches me a little off guard. Was it really so obvious? Trust me, it's my line of reading faces is the most important thing. You look distraught, maybe even sad. However, I realized my question was stupid. Given the situation, it's obvious. Everything is thinking about the same thing. Everything is thinking about the same thing. Forgive my indiscretion. It won't happen again. His apology is so sincere that I accept it anyway. I have to be honest with you. I feel a little bit out of place here. Everyone in this room must have known Place, but I don't even really know who he was. I mean, other than that singer. I feel detached. Yet, there's one thing I know about grief. Wait. Please, Sleepy. I hope I don't seem rude when I say this. but I think it's better that we do that. I need a level head here. Know what I mean? Thank you. When the clock hits 9:02, I will stop. He seems to know a lot about this stuff. I can sense a lot of wisdom in his words. Wait. It feels good to have my life in his hands. With him here, we'd all be kept alive. Yeah, but perhaps not as much as we think. Finch could call the meeting at any second. If I can only bring up one thing, what should it be? Probably best for me to bring up those messages. I'll pull out my phone and start explaining things to him. I tell him that it was just before we drove here, well before I left the hotel with Keela. Oh? Oh shit. I didn't mean to. Okay, I'm actually quite sad that I'm having to skip this now because it's actually kind of cool. This is like a cool character. One of the only cool characters. Oh my god. Alright. Well, I nod, since that's a small price to pay, but at the same time I know I can never be honest. I'll have to hide some information about the Ark, as well as my role in Terra. He'd never believe me. Leon, if Sleepy says no, you gotta step off. I'll give you one of Sleepy's rabbit feet if you want to munch on that. They taste pretty good if you fry those. I just have to hope that you can never detect this. It wasn't relevant to anything on Earth after all, and no need to get an innocent bystander involved. Hiya, Robert. It's good to see you. Oh, one more thing before we end this. On the note of being fully honest with me, I saw a news report earlier. They mentioned Maxine Armstrong. She's in Tokyo. This bothers me. He saw it too? That's interesting. I didn't think he'd be the type of guy. Armstrong Incorporated is very unethical. In fact, they compete with guards like me. They protect through selling weapons. Think about it this way, Inkle. Would you rather have me here, or bombs that could accidentally detonate? It's too unstable in this day and age. Almost everything can be hacked now. Doing that to weapons will be devastating. Mind, however, cannot be hacked. I mean, it can definitely be manipulated, but not in the same way and as fast. So what do you say? Protection by living beings or by weapons? Which would you prefer? I mean, obviously, I prefer the real thing. I'm glad that someone's on my side. More people are siding with technology. But it can never replace real people. Very topical. Very topical. We hate AI. Some things still require deep thought. The protection of others is such a thing. I'd never trust a machine with my life. Well, thanks for the chat, Inkle. It's not often I get to talk about myself. Clients are rarely interested in my life. Sleepy can't hear this, but that redeem saved me 10 minutes of my life. They usually only care about my ability. He goes back to what he was doing before, scanning the room with his back to the wall. I guess Singe will start the conference soon. Not enough time to hang out with someone else. I walk back to the center of the room and look around. It appears that everyone is anxious and restless. It must have been a long night for them all. But answers are so close, so we all held out together. I scan the room a few times over. An eerie silence fills the area. I feel like perhaps I should break it. But before I can do anything, the large door opens. Someone walks out and exchanges glances with everyone. This must be Singe, the conference room entrance. Thank you all for coming here today, even though we've all had no sleep. I'm honored that you chose to be here. He bows to us, much like Rocker. In a few minutes, the press will come. The doors will be unlocked for everyone. I'd be honored. First, I'd like for all of us to be on stage. I want us to appear united in this crisis. As a team, with nothing between us. We've endured a tragedy. We need to show the world our strength. No, Clace is dead. Clace is the performer. Singed was Clace's manager, I think. We need to show the world our strength. We are a family, even in. I hate that I know. Our public image is very important now. We must remain as resolute as possible. We can't have anything falter today. Please come and take your seats with me. Sorry, I yawned. We will begin as soon as the room fills up. He bows again and goes back into the conference hall. Not a moment later, we all start to follow him, unsure of what the conference has in store, and unsure of what shocking truth awaits the world. The morning after the tavern incident. I'm sorry, this is a lot to take in. Would you mind starting from the beginning? I haven't had my morning coffee just yet. My mind is cloudy, to say the least. You're not the only one who is taken aback. These events shocked me as well, my lord. I apologize for keeping my agenda hidden. I would have never endorsed my actions, even if they were for the greater good. So I had to take things into my own hands. Of course, and I still don't believe it. Damien and Conrad are my trusted allies. I laugh at the notion of their betrayal. I never dedicate resources to that. Yet, here we are in the present. You have evidence backing your claim. Of course, I always validate my word. Last night I ventured to the tavern, and Damien and Conrad were there as well. But they had someone with them, an immigrant from another world, one they will not be giving to you. In fact, they are bringing him to Velasquez. This directly violates your truce. Were they not to bring everyone to you? You're keeping tabs on this immigration. Yes, that was the plan, Riley. All of it should go through me. Easier to keep track of that way. Is there a chance you misheard things? Perhaps they used Velasquez as a cover, just in case anybody overheard. Impossible. They filed the paperwork. This immigrant is now fully sanctioned. They violated the truce, my lord. Indeed. This is irrefutable proof. That's not what irrefutable proof means. It's impossible for me to work with that. This immigrant is now in the records. But I wonder, what did Velasquez want? Of all people, he wants an immigrant? He must be quite an important person. Of that I am unsure, but I feel like it's irrelevant. No explanation can excuse betrayal. And you know Velasquez's stance on that. He's too friendly to these off-worlders. I'm glad I was able to open your eyes. You're right. I appreciate that. Now my curiosity is affecting me. Who could this immigrant be? Two main allies would betray me. King wants to see them personally. There might be more than meets the eye. Again, I'm not sure. You could ask them yourself. Oh, that was the wrong word. I did what you would have wanted, my lord. I took action after seeing this betrayal. It was either that, or let them win. I paid this off-worlder a visit. One thing led to the other, however. They ended up passing out. It was unfortunate, of course, but an opportunity presented itself. I took them. They're in our prison. Along with the other immigrants. What? Riley,
How could you be so foolish? I can't believe what you're telling me. Do you realize what you've done? You abducted a legal immigrant, one that was wanted by the king. Velasquez will have us under scrutiny. You keep coming to me with revelations. First, it was that Kalen worked for Righty, but then you go and do this to us? We'll have two assassins target us, under the pressures of a royal mission, too, and everything was going good for once. I can't believe you would do this. Discretion was our greatest ally, Riley. Two guilds will soon be upon us. Please, Lord Blair, I can explain. There must have been a lapse in your judgment. Trust me, this is far worse than a lapse. If I didn't trust you, I'd almost think. Blair stops in the middle of his sentence. At that point, he comes to a shocking realization. You wanted me. We all file into the conference room, one by one. Everyone brings their sense of anxiety with them. It isn't long until we reach the stage area. It's lined with enough seats to fit us all. We stare onwards at the empty room before us. Soon, it will be filled with those who seek answers. Fans, press, and everybody in between. But there was a common goal along them. Enlightenment. I sit on the far right side with Keela to my left. Then there's Akron, Singe, Jock, and Rocker. A woman with long yellow hair is there as well. Betrayal yes. The player is getting fucked to left, right, and center by every party involved in this game. And you know what? Fuck it. Eat the rich. I'm down for it. If only half of these parties were good people. Inumi sits beside her, with Rook to his left. It seems like everybody is here, save for Jade. But when the doors open, people spill in. Sure enough, she's among the present citizens. It seems like Akron and Singe are getting along. They're lost in conversation among themselves. I would have started the conference long ago. But Singe is probably waiting for latecomers. After a while, he picks up his microphone. It appears that every seat on the stage has their own. Would I be expected to talk during this? The moment Singe speaks, the crowd becomes silent. I'd like to. He cuts himself off. There's extreme feedback. Some in the audience cover their ears. I'd like to all of you. I know it's early. This has to be done. A longer wait, restlessness, and that means filling in. I've called you to be fully open. Something has hurt us profoundly. We'll carry it with us forever. It'll scar us for years to come. So please, respectfully. There will be no flash photography, no recording of any videos for that matter. However, audio recording, exception. I understand some of you notes, especially the members of the press, but this is as far as we. With that said, I will now begin. I relay this news with a heavy heart. Last night, our own idol passed away. At midnight, the place was moved. The audience starts talking amongst themselves. I see several people scribbling down on notepads. The cause of his death was asphyxiation, but it was under mysterious circumstances. It implies suicide, but that can't be true. Ace was not the type to do this, especially so close to the launch. It's an impossibility. Please disregard it. With that said, I will take question. Yeah. It's been so we're on chapter 4. We're like in the depths of chapter 4, and it's been less than 24 hours in game time. Or at least on Earth. I guess in Terra it's been a day. Or like 3 days. But fuck you. But please remain considerate today. Remember, we are in a state of grief. Finch, sir, I have a question, if you're willing. By all means, Ukuma. Feel free to ask whatever you like. You mentioned the method of death, asphyxiation under mysterious circumstances. Exactly how is asphyxiation mysterious? Lack of oxygen is not mysterious. He just explained. I'm afraid I'm a little confused. The press in the audience started nodding in agreement, as if this was the question on all of their minds. You are correct, and I'm glad you asked. And I hope you ask the same to the police. They hastily branded these as suicides. Lace has marks around his neck. They imply the use of a noose, but there was no scene. Well then, that is definitely odd. Thank you for answering the question. He was on this. Fukumoto was on the scene. He would have already known that. Why was those lines there? This game sucks. I'm surprised he didn't twist any of Singe's words. This is why the official rule is odd. The lack of evidence is very suspicious, and it implies several possibilities. The body may have been moved post-mortem, or the culprit made off with the evidence. Both point to the same shocking. Murders, plain, simple. The affected family deserve the truth. Why were our loved ones taken from us? And who committed these egregious crimes? I stand here today, speaking for the many. No, Aurora, everybody knows this fucking reporter. Literally everyone knows this guy by name for no reason. In fact, the narrator made the comment, is this guy the only reporter in Tokyo? I stand here today speaking for the many. Those who lost their husbands, their wives, their children and siblings. The police must reinvestigate this case. They cannot give up so easily. And they will have my full cooperation. There's one thing I want to accomplish. This case will be closed before we leave. We will return to America enlightened. Oh my gosh, hi Mako Chivu! It's so good to see you! How are you? How's my little furry doing? Yeah, of course it's OpenVC. This is your channel. You know the rules. Hello, Anka. Did you need something? Oh, God. Furry jump scare. Oh, my God. Don't scare me like that. I do need water. Why? Is that your own furry suit? Is that your own fursuit? No, you're borrowing it? Awesome. Well, I hope you're having fun. Now get out of here. Go be a furry. Do whatever furries do. Actually, you know what? I do actually need to go get water. RQ. Not to pause in this sentimental moment. But you guys can stare at Singe's sensational perfume.
Awesome. Good. Hydrate. And to that end, I will move on to the subject of our world tour, and precisely what will happen next. Excuse me, I am proud to announce we will continue. The world tour will go on as it was planned. The audience burst into conversation again. It seems that they weren't expecting this announcement. We will do what Clace would have wanted. Instead of backing down, we persevere. Daz will head the tour in his place. She has graciously agreed to this burden. I cannot thank her enough. Surely, it is a monumental undertaking. He motions to the woman with yellow hair. Oh, interesting. That's who she is. The launch will turn into a memorial, not just for Clace, but for everyone. Every person affected by these deaths. A series of his hits will be performed, but Daz will sing some new songs as well. Shock and Rocker will stay to help out. We, as a family, will honor the lost, as well as launch Daz's new career. And trust me, she is very talented. This was definitely a lot to take in. I guess they have a steady supply of idols. She must be talented to follow in Clace's shadow. I will open for questions one more time. Fukumoto here again. This will be my last question, Singe, but I'm asking this as a friend. Are you worried for the safety of Daz? And of the Lucky Two? What if this culprit strikes again? What precautions have you taken? Actually, I'm not worried about this at all. There's no evidence of us being targeted, but there is a little more to explain. In fact, I have one last announcement, and I have full clearance to reveal this. Please do not assume so. But have a seat while I can. Very well. This information is known only to me. Revealed it to anybody, not even those involved in the war. What could it be? I notice Acheron shifts uncomfortably in his seat. It looks like he's annoyed at hearing this. I will be keeping everybody in here. I won't allow them to leave this building. But this is for a very specific reason. And it involves Armstrong Incorporated. Wait, he's keeping us in here? And what does this have to do with Armstrong? Acheron's ears perk up, and he looks visibly angry. I know Maxine Armstrong piqued curiosity. Her arrival in Tokyo was quite mysterious, but today we will reveal the truth. He gave me an offer when he arrived, and I wanted protection for everybody here, both by hired guards and technology. This is the sole reason she's in Tokyo. She offered us the best of her services. We are safe by so many. It was all our doing. Unfortunately, we couldn't protect Clace. I feel somewhat at fault for his death. I caved in under some pressure. I initially had him on a tight leash. I didn't want him to get in trouble. But people said I was being too harsh. I decided to give him some freedom. Then, look what it caused. I should have stuck to my gut feeling. I remember hearing something about that yesterday. That Clace was being kept on a really tight leash. They said, can't wait next year when a certain rent has to play it, and it'll be 35 hours of visual novel. They said it was. They said it was because the public was scared of it, because the Death Star is. You can see now that this was the reason. They were just trying to keep it safe from harm.
I'm ashamed for not realizing that sooner. Oh, Aurora, were you not here for the first stream? So, I got pull up this. Hang on. Let me make a. Let me pull this up real quick. Show you. But I will show you real quick. So I am getting a jump start on my resolution to be Asian. And it is because I have a very special thing that I want this year. And that is so if you are looking at this right now, you will see that there's a list of games. This is every game that I have ever owned on Steam that is beatable, that is definitively beatable. And next year I will be streaming myself playing and beating all of the games on this list, which just so happens to include Dongan. So yeah, but we do have a while before we actually get to that. We have. I actually don't even know is on this list. We have to go all the way from 2015 through and most of 2022 before we even get there. Sorry, you're misspelling it, or it's Dong Harp. It's spelled right there on the sheet. But as I go through it, this is I have the estimated times for all the games. I'll be putting down the actual time to beat it, and then I'll be ranking them based on mechanic, story, and so yeah, so that will be happening. Anyways, that explanation. I don't think the public was scared of Place at all. It seems that it was Singe who was scared all along. I apologize. Okay, I think I get the gist of this scene. Singe, are you insane? What? Singe is definitely surprised at this interjection. The audience is as well, and they watch him fright. Explain yourself at once, Acheron. Think about what you're saying. You want to keep everybody inside? After you've lined the place with weapons? You've turned us all into sitting ducks. Armstrong weapons can be hacked. They're not as foolproof as you think. Real manpower can never be replicated. You can't be serious about this, Singe. Everybody is important to Claces in here, and now they're surrounded by weapons. How could you be so foolish? Acheron pushes Singe against the wall. He holds him in place by the white coat. But Singe remains calm and collected. The audience gasps and watches in awe. Of course. Read your psyche evaluation. The seething hatred for Maxine Armstrong. I should have expected this outburst. Acheron, I advise that you back down. You're only compromising your position. If I fire you, then she wins. Compromise, you say? You're the one compromising everything. You just told the world how to kill us all. Hack some weapons, set them off. We all need to evacuate immediately. Think logically, Acheron. These weapons are extremely high-tech. They can't be hacked as easily as you think. They need authorization codes to set off. Only myself and Maxine know these codes. We both desire protection, Acheron. I will only use them if we are in danger. You believe I didn't think this through, but I'm not as stupid as you think. I know exactly what I'm doing here. These weapons are a last resort, in case your expertise fell through. And it looks like it might be starting to. I'd suggest that you let go of me. Turn to your seat immediately, Acheron. You're only making a fool of yourself. Alright, I'm skipping all of Acheron's lines. You seem to be very worried, Acheron. You're scared of an infinitely small thing. A thing with almost impossible chances. Why do you hate Armstrong so much? What do they take away from you? Acheron releases his grip, but not calmly. He lets out a sharp growl in Singe's direction. And then he returns to his seat with a look of shame. He has no more lines! Sleepy, you should have said Singe! Singe dusts off his lab coat with his hands, as if the altercation had been dirty. I'm terribly sorry for that, folks. As you can see, we're all under duress. Part of why we said no photography. Ready for the spotlight. Understand what I'm saying. Refrain from reporting that incident. The audience nods in compliance. Please report everything else, including the involvement of Armstrong. Thought it was the right time. She is here to protect, not to harm. This building is ready, but not all of the weapons have non-lethal. Well, so this place is far from death trap. Will not use weapons unless my hand is forced. We are protected in many ways, and both myself and share these goals. We want everybody inside to stay alive. Thank you all for coming. Please, leave of your own accord. Singe bows to the audience and returns to his seat. They start to file out of the room. This was all a lot to take in. I don't really know how I should feel. I mean, am I a prisoner here now? I'm not allowed to leave. That's not really cool at all. And we're surrounded by weapons. That does make me feel a little uneasy. Was Singe certain they couldn't be hacked or set off? Acheron has been extremely smart and knowledgeable. Was his outburst as incorrect as Singe led on? Or were we potentially all in a dangerous situation? Take a deep breath and try to relax. By the time I'm calm, the room is empty, save for those who are involved with the tour. After a few moments, Singe turns to me. This is the first time he's addressed me directly. Well, he tries to address Keela as well, but it's thought again. Well, that was a rather eventful compliment. Never a shortage of quality entertainment. He smiles at us, seeming a lot more calm. Or perhaps it's like he's less professional. I guess he can relax a little after a speech like that. Being professional all the time would be tiring fast. I'm sorry about meeting you, Chris. The circumstances are less than I was really looking forward to this. So you're the leader then? The one's in charge of all this? I guess you could say that. The delegation needs my expertise. It's what I have people like Rook and Jade. I could never do this all by myself. Go away, Keela. I'd cave under this pressure pretty quick. Managerial duties are less than forgiving. At first I thought it was, but now I feel like it won't be easy. Thank you, Aurora. At least, not while Acheron is here. No, of course not. He's acclaimed the entire world over. No better candidate for this. Whether we agree with each other, though. It doesn't matter. He'll get the job done. He'd never risk his flawless resume. But I'd love to talk more personally. Would you two stop by my office? It's better with less prying gears. We have much to discuss together, and I'm sure you have questions. Not here. but I'll happily answer them in this. For your reference, it's room A. But I wonder, would he be sending us home? Or would we just tour with Dad instead? He gives us another smile before walking away. Awesome. Hilo walks away and exits the room. Everyone else must have left while we were talking. Because now, the room is completely empty. I wonder what's bothering him so much. He's taken an interesting turn in the last little bit. I think he said something about his past. Seemed uncool with getting involved in the media. Perhaps that's what he wanted to talk to Singe about. Step down from the stage and see someone there. Could have sworn the room was empty just a moment ago. But it's a familiar face, so I go on to greet them. No, Eclair.
Oh, I hope you didn't see me. Hi, Inkle.
Her shoulders are slashed down, her posture poor. She seemed to be an odd combination of scared and sad. But I knew who she was talking about. It was Rook. I asked her what she's doing here.
Well, I heard about what happened last night. I rushed over from work as soon as I could. Wait, no, she's French. I can't do a French accent. I didn't come to talk to hear about Clace. I actually came for Rook, you know?
I can't do a French accent. I would need Amphi to be here.
Oui, panique attaque.
I don't. Oh, panic attack. Awesome. Yes.
But I didn't come here about Clace. I actually came for Rook, you know? I wanted to see how he was holding up. Wow, that sounds kind of rude, doesn't it? I mean, I definitely care about Clace, but I needed to see Rook.
Aurora, there was a 40-minute long scene where it was just this character talking and crying. And it was the most boring part.
Does that make me a bad person? I mean, everyone else came here for Clace, but here I am, only caring about Rook.
Not a bad person. Of course she's not a bad person. Death is like throwing a stone into a pond. It causes ripples and waves in lots of places. Powerful force, and she was not in the wrong. Glad I was soft side. When I say this to her.
Sorry if I put you on the spot. I guess I just needed some sort of feedback. I guess I could never see him. I guess I needed some sort of feedback. Rook handles this stuff quite differently. I mean, I did tell you a little bit, so I'm hoping you understand my situation. I didn't want to hear him react in the same way. Singe's organization needs Rook, just like Cafe Shut needed Rook. When he's gone, things get chaotic. I just wanted to see his face. That expression can say a lot, you know. I wasn't expecting him to notice me. I just wanted to take a look, that's all. For some reason, I thought it'd help. But I was wrong. It didn't help. It just made things more confusing. His face looked the same as always.
Oh, you're so right, Aurora. Yeah.
I call it something like cold steel. Something that says, stay away from me. In fact, it looked like he was unfazed. But that couldn't be right, could it? I'm worried about what he might do.
She did care about Rook a whole lot, I'll admit. But I start to wonder if maybe it was too much. From my understanding, they've been out of contact. So then, why was she always talking about him? He barely talks about her, which makes it weird. Was she a little obsessed?
Sorry for rambling on, Inka. I just don't want him to ditch Singe. Everyone needs to stick together here. You don't need to lose another person. Things are hard enough as it is. And as I said, Rookie is important. Either way, I'm glad I ran into you. It was nice to talk about things again. But yeah, I still owe you something. But this time, you have my word. I won't stop until you're satisfied. Oh, one more thing before I go. And another thing before I go. I want to ask you something about this. Do you think people can make up? You know, rebuild broken bridges? Or do you think it's a lost cause? You seem like a smart person, Ink. Am I being reasonable or emotional?
It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible, and that's what I tell her. People disconnect and reconnect all the time. Of course, it's largely dependent on the disconnect. If it was a sour departure, it might not be possible. But for two people who were once so close, I would say that it's definitely possible.
Thank you. That's good to hear. I was thinking it could just be my head. That perhaps it was pipe dream. Good to know that it's not just me. Perhaps I'll come back when it's settled. And perhaps I'll reconnect with Rook. Well, I guess I better be going. I'm sure you have important stuff to do. Contests to win. Stuff like that. I'll see you around, Mr. Leck.
She slowly walks away, but there's something in the way she moves. It's like she's happy, more so than yesterday. I should tell Keela that we might need to go back to Cafe Chat. He'd probably enjoy hearing that. Yeah, I'll save my game. What more in Chapter 4 could there be? I think a lot's happened. I guess a lot's happened over the last couple hours. Life in this business moves pretty damn fast. I hope I can keep up with all of this. My next step was Singe's office. He wanted to have a conversation with me, but I wonder what it was about. Hope that he'd let us stay and tour with Daz. I'd rather all of my work not be for nothing. And I'd like to get to spend a lot of time with everybody. Especially if we weren't able to leave the building. I doubt it would be as bad as Akron thought. Only Max and Sitch could set off the weapons. At the moment, they were on the same side. They were both in this to protect all of us. I feel at ease. But it was very short-lived. The tone of my phone echoes through the empty hall. I hesitantly check my text message. I'm quickly unaware of what awaits me. But after reading what I was about to, I knew that things would never be normal again. One of your friends will die today. It will be your fault. You are not the only one blessed with powers from the Ark. Things will be more fun from now on. Good luck. Oh, that was chapter 4. Awesome. Before your arrival, before the launch of the contest, yeah, someone else has the power to just say, that game just crashed. Okay. Alright, Major Minor. I see you, I guess. Well, it's a good thing it saved. Anyway, real and true. I'm only streaming this until Sleepy gets home. So, let's see how far into the story we can get. I'm hungry, though. Did I get food? Maybe I pause and get food. So, if I may reiterate, I've recently engaged in a bargain, and my claim in this is dominion. Not only over Earth, but its people too, and the flow of time therein.
I am certain you would like this power. Your line of work, it would be essential. Am I correct to assume that you agree? Yeah, but all of that is contained in this? Such a fragile looking necklace. Fragile? The gears of fate are anything but. They spin in spite of defiance. Like a drill, moving forward in revolution. Time is not easily stopped. It is fickle, and moves with vigor. So what, I can control time? In a way, what has happened cannot be changed, but you can stop it and slow it down. Like a river, it can flow or be still. The gears give you the power to do this. So let's say I believe you, which I am inclined to. I mean, just look where I'm standing. I imagine all of the people I could save, those that are struggling or in danger. But I sense you want something in return. You wouldn't just hand out this power. I'm glad you're as smart as they say. The truth is, I grow tired of this place. The Ark is fun for a time, but my ambitions have grown larger. I seek a worthy successor, someone to rule in my stead. However, there is more than just time. The power of the Ark runs deeper. So this gear is just a taste, hmm? Indeed, the Ark governs life and death as well. This renders the dweller immortal. Governs life and death. You mean you can bring back the dead? Yes, or I can cause the living to die. Something I fear I'll be doing more of. But you said you couldn't reverse time. It's true, I can't. But time and life are separate entities. I'm not sure how to explain the difference. It's a concept hard to put into words, but it's easily understood in practice. If you could become my successor, see. You mean there's a chance I might not be? I didn't realize this was a gamble. I thought you were making me an offer. Of course this is a gamble. You are not the only one who will be chosen. There will be a few contestants, along with a goal and an objective. I can't just give the Ark away, not without finding a worthy owner. It is your goal to prove that worth, and there will be others in your way. Very well then. What are your terms? Rhea lets out a sinister smirk. My terms are simple. Pay very close attention. Chapter 5 The Brief Reprieve. Do not crash on me. Do not crash. Thank you. Sick. So I'm going to go get some food real quick. You guys, I'm going to leave you on the BRB screen for a bit. So don't cry while we bite.
Alright, let's start chapter 5. How are you holding up? Thirsty or hungry? Neither. Just feeling low. With me right beside you? I'm not sure if I should be offended. I thought it was pretty good company. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Of course, your company, Kaylin. It's just, I'm missing lots of people. That, and it's wet and dark. Wet is good. Humidity helps. You don't want to dry out in the cell. Trust me, it's an awful experience. I know you say you're not hungry, but I've been monitoring your eating. You'll starve if you don't have some more. Just ration this bread, Kabu. Not a chance. That's yours. Not really. I can survive on little food. Your body isn't used to that, though. I can tell this situation is foreign to you. Seems to be the opposite for you. Spend a lot of time in prison, Kayla? More than I'd like to admit. But being in prison isn't all that bad. Excuse me? I always seem to find a way out. This time will be no different. We're alive. That means one thing. They want us alive. If they didn't, we'd be dead by now. Only you could find that reassuring. I'm afraid I don't share that sentiment. Player would never keep someone alive. Not unless they wanted to. They were important to them. So for now, we get free food and shelter. With a side of torture, you mean. Your optimism is an inspiration. It's just who I am. Think of it like this. Every time they take me out for torture, I can mentally map more of the estate. I'll have it all down in no time. Then we can plan our escape. I'm used to torture, trained to resist it. I'll make sure they always take me. Besides, I have some letters to send out. Rikat, hang on, let me take a bite of pizza. Welcome to game 1 of like 150. This is Major Minor, the first game that I ever bought on Steam at the ripe age of 15 in high school. It is a visual novel furry game that is definitely just someone's fan fiction they threw together. I hope my friends are getting them. I know this place inside and out. I can definitely help you, but I can't just let you suffer in my stead. Of course you can. That's what buddies are for. Buddies? Yeah. I want to help you out, Kabu. That's why I gave you my bread. And I'll make sure they don't hurt you. I don't think I can repay you for this. Well, you could tell me about yourself. If we're buddies, I should get to know you. I suppose that is a fair exchange. Will you tell me about yourself, too? Sorry, I don't really do that. The bread and care will have to suffice. No, Rakat, I'm not completing Genshin Impact on stream. I can send you the list of every game I have, if you want that. And we made a very neat itemized list. Well, I don't have Destiny on Steam, so... Oh. But please, do tell me. I won't ask unless I genuinely care. Feeling out of sauce. Capri, yeah. Capri, yeah. This is a furry visual novel. Well, it's just like I said at the rally. I don't remember much, but I'm not Terran. First thing I remember is Lord Player. I'm sorry to hear that. That must not be a pleasant first memory. In this case, you're wrong. I look back on that memory very fondly. Were it not for Player, I'd be dead. The list of games I'll be playing, Rakat. Don't be Capri. This game sucks. This game sucks, man. It's so bad, and it's so long. I'm on hour 8 of gameplay. Yeah, 15-year-old me bought this. Yeah, laugh at me. I know. It was a waste of $10. Back then, he was different. He treated me as if I was a Terran native. Like I was his own flesh and blood. But everything changed. So fast. Sport is so good. Politics turned him into a different man. It was much easier to coerce and influence. He only cared about his following. He lost sight of his true self. But I suppose it's collateral damage. Not many people stick to their views, especially when others don't share them. He started telling people what they wanted. No longer did he talk about what he wanted. It was all about pleasing the population. It can be addicting, having power, having people cheer your presence. I can see now that changed him. I guess he gave in. That's when I started to feel neglected. He would rarely speak to me. That must be hard. Having a father figure treat you that way. Is that why you started to speak up? That's a different matter entirely. Yeah, I'll send you the list later, Rebecca. I'm gonna try and get through this chapter today. A lot changed when Riley came on board. He was supposed to be Player's advisor, but it was more like he owned Lord Player. Suddenly, Riley was the one in charge, and he made him do some horrible things. What do you mean? This isn't the only cell down here. There are others, filled with people. He's keeping undocumented immigrants. Riley convinced him to do this. The immigration stance was his idea. They loved immigrants. They loved me. They were able to get a steady supply. Something about two men with connections. They came to some sort of arrangement. But they've kept everyone alive. So it's not like they want to kill them. It's more like they want to ostracize them. He thinks it will make Terra better. That hurts me. It really does. I wouldn't be part of his new Terra. I heard him talking with Riley. If elected, they'll make more prisons. Immigration camps, something like that. Place to keep them while he works. He wants to serve Terra's connection. Remove us from the galactic community. But that's far too dangerous, Caitlin. We know what happened when Velasquez tried. This is not to be trifled with. I find this all hard to believe. We're not really alone down here? Not at all. But getting back to on topic, all of this is Riley's doing. He makes the player do these awful things. But it's still player himself that does them. Hands have gone so dirty, Caleb. While Riley's remain as clean as ever. Wait, you don't mean... Yes. Setting player up. He wants to remove player from the picture. Then he'll be free to usurp the campaign. Okay, now I'm a little confused. You say it's Riley behind all of this. Then why'd you frame player at the rally? Riley must believe that he's winning. That way he can't let down his guard. I got help from an assassin, Endymion. Together we created a fake manifest. That's what I submitted at the rally. And that's what started all of this. You must have thought I was stupid, turning against Lord Player so easily, especially with evidence of origin haste. It did seem a little odd. Now I understand why. So, what's the next step? Hopefully Player can realize the truth. After this, he'll want to escape blame. Maybe he'll piece the pieces together. Hopefully in doing this, he'll realize that's when the both of us come in. Assuming he learns of your guild heritage, he'll realize he can't escape the storm. At that point, he'll seek protection. But that's exactly what you prefer. You should come down here to talk. That's when we can barter. Use your services to gain freedom. That is not true, by the way, Rakat. This game is maximum 13 hours. Or supposed to be. You thought all of this through? I did. Sorry if it's complicated. But if we protect a player, we can use him. His testimony will help expose Riley. Of course, they'll lose all validity. No one will vote for these two men. He'll secure the election of Velasquez. I misjudged you. I'm impressed. Most do, and that makes it easier. I can avoid suspicion. Wow, you think like a mercenary. You'd be a great addition, Kabu. Maybe the guild life would suit you. At least, that's the way I think. Always be steps ahead of the enemy. Then you'll be able to counter them. It's one of the first things I learned. I guess I wasn't lucky enough to learn it. All of this just came to me by instinct. Sounds lucky to me. So what do we do? Just wait? That's all we can do, really. Wait for player to come to his senses. Or, perhaps, wait for him to get caught. I love VN games that just give you achievements for doing absolutely jack shit. Wow, we screwed everything up, don't we? Can't even take a nap without ruining stuff. How do you think the king will take this? You know, that his savior is missing? He's gonna be furious, Andy. Quiet. It's not the time or the place for jokes. We have to figure out what happened. The savior must be somewhere nearby. There's too much on the line to leave this. We have to figure it out and fast. Sorry. But maybe he just left of his own will. I mean, we never had him in shackles. They always had the freedom to walk. But we explained things so well. I was certain we had their allegiance. They can't have just walked away. Look around for clues. There's more here, I know it. Oh, we're detectives now? Did I sleep through that meeting? Conrad, enough. Sorry for yelling. Would you please help me look around? Look for elements of foul play. Then we can decide our next actions. Yeah, I'm on it. I'll try to keep low on the jokes. I didn't realize that was a hot topic. Just a hard habit to kick. Especially when it's second nature, you know. I understand. Thanks. You start looking over there. I'll get this half the room. I appreciate it. I can't have gone far either. So the faster we find the lead, the better. Spend a few moments scanning the room. After a few months pass, Endymion makes a discovery. Conrad. Yeah? Come here. Found something. Is it? It's blood. Wait,
Savior's blood? I don't know, but the tattered piece of clothing, I'd recognize it anywhere, Conrad. Lord Blair was here. That's impossible. We're still on good terms with him. These guys are the worst assassins ever. And Damien holds up the piece of fabric. The blood is long since dried. Well, who else would wear these? There's no other explanation. I've seen him wear this many times. That's purely conjecture. We should look around a little more. He knew all about Lord Blair. There's no way he'd leave willingly. There are no signs of a struggle. Fabric was torn and blood. Well, that doesn't happen without a fight. There'd have to be something left behind. Everything is in pristine condition. Perhaps we're falling into a trap. Being tricked into thinking this way. This could be what the assailant wants. If we were just next door, Endymion, we would have heard of anything. Think about this logically. No assuming. I'm not assuming anything, Conrad. The evidence is right before me. There's no mistaking what I'm seeing. Lord Blair must have abducted the Savior. We must make haste to his residence. Our guise has been broken. We can attack head on. We would have heard an abduction, Endymion. Think about this. I'm begging you. It could have spiked our wine, Conrad. I knew I slept longer than usual. Now you're being paranoid. Conrad, just stop it. We had someone capable of saving Terra, and now they're missing, with evidence. This is perfectly logical conclusion. I suppose, at first glance. Exactly. There's a chance I'm right. We have to act on that, no matter how small. If we don't, the Savior could be killed. There's too much in the balance to debate. We need to take action before anything else. At least we may have way here, Andy. We can't afford to be so reckless. What do you have in mind? Let's just pay him a visit. We can gauge how he treats us. We'll be able to tell him pretty quickly. If he tries anything funny, then we act. Right now, it's not right to assume. We could be heading into a trap, you know. If we attacked first, we'd blow our cover. Then everything would just fall apart. It could easily be someone's true goal. Very well. Damien places his hand on Conrad's shoulder. But if he is holding the Savior, or if he gives off the slightest suspicion, I will show him no mercy. I promise. Oh shit, I forgot this guy.
You can see how this is important to me. Normally I wouldn't go to such extremes, but Kayla's life is on the line here.
Holy shit! Oh, Booga? You always did have a soft spot for him. It's rare to see you in dire straits. But yeah, I guess I can understand. What do you want me to do about it? I'm one of your enemies after all. Why would I help the competition?
You wouldn't help the competition, but you might help a friend.
Oh, we're friends now? When you need help, that's how it works.
Samantha.
Don't call me that. It's Sam.
I know we haven't always seen eye to eye, but this time I really do need your help.
You had your chance to recruit me, but you chose that pretty boy instead. And now you want me to help you save him? The irony is actually comedic.
Are you only here to mock me?
Well, I needed to check in on things. Yes,
The dress certainly is a fashion choice.
My boss needs all kinds of information.
And who is your boss exactly?
Sorry, lips are sealed. But you're asking me to sway allegiance. Only coin can get me to do that right. And no small amount of them either. But I might also use this chance to spy. So don't think I'm yours for. I could turn my back and sell you out.
I was fully expecting to pay you for this. As a mercenary, I know the power of money.
Very well. Tell me the full story. Not bribes. This is payment for jobs. I don't want any naughty little surprises. I don't get along with those.
Well, Kalen is being held prisoner in Lord Player's Manor, actually. Maybe you've heard of him?
Of course I have. And you're crazy. The security on his estate is massive. Like my breasts.
That's why I've come to you.
I'll require a bonus then.
Fine, but it's just a rescue mission. Not much else is out of the ordinary. But if there are any other prisoners, I think we should extract them as well.
Bonus.
Also, I'm open to any important facts. If you dig up dirt on Player of the King.
Bonus. Also, you may be subject to more bonuses, especially if mission parameters change. Do you find this acceptable, righty?
Yes, but I'm coming with you.
Like hell you are. I work alone.
No, you work with me now.
No thanks. We tried that once before. You said I was too reckless, I think. Chose the pretty boy over me.
This isn't an entrance exam, Sam. Lives are on the line, you know. I didn't pay you back then. I set the mission parameters. You will charge me accordingly.
I doubt you can afford me. Especially not when you meet me in the cellar. Headquarters in a tavern. That's rich.
Actually, it's the other way around. Tavern was built over my HQ. These tunnels are deep. Lots of secrets. Remember, Velasquez funded this place. The royal treasury is nearly limitless.
Trust me. I'm aware.
So, what do you think? Can we work together, Sam? Huh?
Let's talk now. Yeah.
Well, it came at the cost of about a few thousand lives. So it better be nice.
I wish I knew what to do. Honestly, Dusk, I'm conflicted.
Oh, I can understand, given your situation.
I fear my allies are turning against me. I'm just trying to help everyone, Dusk.
You've done a fine job of that, my lord. You definitely have my allegiance.
For that, I'm honored. But they don't appreciate my secrecy. I haven't really been transparent. I've been very quiet about my plans. And that means one important thing. People fill the cracks with imagine. Their own thoughts make me a villain.
People tend to do that, especially under such grim circumstances. Many citizens think worst case scenario. They don't have this life of luxury. I think you should visit the people. Work in public relations will be great.
I'm not sure about public relations. No amount of that could fix what's coming. Tell me, that's. If you could do something truly amazing, would you do it without hesitation?
Without a doubt.
What if the world hated you? You wouldn't see the good right way. No matter beautiful things are done.
I'm not sure. If it was good, it would be obvious. I don't see why people would hate.
See? I can sense hesitance. But don't worry. I feel the same way. Especially when the time is finally here. And now, just not.
Do not let your resolve falter, my king. Especially not based on others' opinions. There are always those who would oppose you. I'm afraid that is the only advice I have.
It's not bad advice. I am glad I sought your counsel. You must think me foolish, the immortal king, doubting his actions. I'm supposed to know everything.
Okay, that's just something the people say. Don't become who they think you are. You'll only end up losing your true self. And this is something we cannot lose. You are wise beyond your years, especially as rumors as they spin.
Yes, there have been many, but I fear this may be next. Ooh, spooky. Again, at a much earlier time. Oh, wait. Sleepy. You want me to what? I'm sorry, I believe I misheard you. I'm afraid you didn't, Miss Armstrong. But you know who I am. I'm in the business of protecting others. You can't expect me to consider this. Yes, you do like to protect people. But this comes with something else. You understand the importance of death. It is everywhere. It is unavoidable. While all around us, it consumes us. The power of death is immeasurable. Are you sleepy? I'll finish up this scene and then stream, and then we can do things, okay? Surely you've been touched by it as well. Perhaps you've lost someone dear to you. Someone you'd give anything to see again. Even the lives of others, perhaps? Yes, I have. But you can't just... Think of it this way, Max. You know what the Ark is capable of. You could bring it an end to death as a whole. That's what you want, isn't it? That's what your company is dedicated to. Protecting others, saving them from death. Nobody would have to lose a loved one again. No one would... Oops, I didn't mean to do it. You're asking me to kill. But think of the loved ones you've lost. Won't you like to see them again? Bring them back. Have them full of life. There has to be some other way. I'm afraid there isn't. You've been running from death for too long. It's time to embrace it now. Live it. The ruler of the Ark must not fear death. You cannot hesitate in the face of it. You have to confront it head on. You've mastered the concept of life. Your company is dedicated to preservation. Now, it's time to embrace the other side. It's true. You protect people from death. No matter what, death still exists. You need to gain a greater understanding. Only then will you be able to rule. Will you be fit to rule? A ruler is a master of every avenue, just one or a few. A ruler can never pretend. Until now, you've run away from death. To rule the Ark, you must master it.
don't know what to say. This isn't something I should consider. Standing here and seeing this place gives your words more importance. The place is truly beautiful, but I'm not sure if this is worth it. If you're being honest about this power, I can't afford to deny your request. An end to death? What I've always wanted? But at the cost of more death. I don't know if I want to stay in my hands. I never said it had to be you, Max. Remember, the gear that I've given you? Using it, accidents could happen. Also, let's not be stupid here. Use your products for your own gain. I can think of a few times without effort. How does he know that? Who is this guy?
This is the first time they've used that, by the way.
Give a minute. Give me a moment to think about it, please. Of course. It's not an easy decision to make. By all means, take your time.
Yes, this is Max Armstrong.
Okay, let's recap. Max. I was at home like I normally would. Dozing off, I found myself here. Apparently, it's a place called the Ark. Current owner wants to leave, so he's taking time to seek a replacement. Told me that it controls time flow. But he said it controls life and death too. That means he can kill anyone he wants. Stop recapping. Alright, we get it. We get it.
Wait a minute.
If what he said about the Ark is true, I can just resurrect those guilds. In that case, it is just symbolic. My actions wouldn't be permanent. Unless I lose course. But with all this power, I couldn't. Control time and company assets? I don't think it's possible to lose. I'd have all the time in the world. You're a genius, Max. You can play him. Do what he wants and then reverse it all. Alright, I'm in. Can you give me more specifics? Yes, of course. The world tour is about to launch in Tokyo. I suggest buying a plane ticket. You'll be needed there right away.
Oh my god. Alright, well, we're not finishing chapter 5 today. However, I would say that we are pretty safely halfway through this shit. And with that also being said, I would like to thank you all for existing within my space today. I saw a lot of people come in that really made me happy. So I'm going to send you guys off with a nice little goodbye. I'm going to send you to Kira. Kira's doing things for charity. Go support them. Give them $20 if you want. Or don't. Actually, do give them $20. It's for charity. Bye, Aurora. See you Tuesday. Okay, bye.